Hey guys, what's up? It's Alex or Nuzz here, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you a ton of Runescape PvM combos that are actually super strong that you should definitely get or try out if you haven't already. In other news, I'm trying to send my baby chick pet Melvin to college, and every subscriber helps get him there, so please subscribe so Melvin can live out his dreams. Now, the first combo I want to talk about is one that I finally unlocked, and that is the Malitops perk plus the Turtling 4 perk. Now, this is unlocked by first putting the Turtling 4 perk on your shield, which can be received pretty commonly when using Invention, and it isn't too bad of a perk to get compared to other expensive ones. Then after you have that, you need to get the Malitops perk. Now, to get this perk, you need 117 farming, and you need 2 large dinosaur pens on the Anachronia dinosaur farm. So once you have both of these, you need to put 2 elder Malitops or breed them to make sure they're in each large pen. Now this will make it so you have the tier 2 version of the Malitops perk. Then you need to get a farming totem, place that on each pen, and boom, you'll have the tier 2 perk. What this does is it increases your barricade duration by 3.6 seconds, and then Turtling 4 will also increase your barricade duration by around 5 seconds. This will make your barricade go from lasting a measly 10.2 seconds without any of this, all the way to 17.4 seconds, so almost 40% longer under barricade, which means 40% longer before you die. Next, I wanted to talk about a combo that I've been using frequently myself at Zamorak, and that is using a Spirit Shield, preferably an Elysian Spirit Shield with Penance powder and sometimes a Hellhound familiar. Now, the Elysian Spirit Shield is a tier 75 shield, but it reduces damage by 30% and 20%. It works against soft typeless damage only, but you can couple this with a perk like Absorptive 4 to get another 20% chance to reduce an attack. The only catch with this shield is it essentially drains your prayer big time whenever you take a hit, but that's where the Penance powder is going to come in. You can use Penance powder to essentially make it so when you take a big hit, your shield absorbs a ton of it, but the hit you do take generates you back prayer points, so you aren't always falling to 0 when you use this shield. I use this a ton at Zami, and I know people use it at like high-end rages, and you can use it with the Hellhound familiar as well, which also reduces incoming damage, and it's an easy way to take a lot of big hits. I also found use for the Ellie at Telos in the past, and I've seen people use it at Zami at those really high-end rages, but I just thought I'd mention it because it's an interesting combo. It's one that I think, I don't think I've ever, shown this one, but it's one that definitely deserves a little bit of attention because it's really good at tanking those big hits. Now, another great combo that I'm sure most of you, or some of you at least, are aware of is Crit Bloom and Animate Dead, or Animate Dead plus Ganodermic, or really any mage tank armor to be fair. This combo drastically reduces the damage you take and has completely changed the RuneScape PvM meta. When I first tried this out, I was able to essentially AFK the Magister, which was just a huge difference from what I was doing previously. I was also able to get my first solo Carapace kill way easier than when I tried with ranged, so it just goes to show the insane power of this combo. It's been talked about a lot and it's a pretty popular combo, but I didn't feel right not mentioning it here because it's just so overpowered and just so good. So if you're maging and you're not using Animate Dead, or you're not using tank mage gear at places that are a little harder like hard mode Zuck or Carapace solos, then you should try it, and I bet you're gonna survive way easier. Another great combo if you're somebody who uses a Ripper Demon is to buff up your Ripper Demon by using the Spirit Cape, Spirit Weed Incense Sticks, and Spiritual Prayer Potions. This is gonna make it so your summoning spec costs way less on your Ripper Demon, and then chugging Spiritual Prayer Potions is gonna let your Ripper Demon just spam out damage. I tend to use this basically all the time where I'm somewhere that gets use out of the Ripper, like the Arch Glacier, or especially at Raksha, and you'll be so surprised at how much extra damage this is gonna allow you to deal. If you don't have all 3 of these things, make sure you get them or start using them. So I want to mention a perk that's different from the Malitops perk, so kind of an alternative, and that is the King of Beasts perk. Now for this you need level 106 farming, and you need a Bragada Rex, Elder Bragada Rex in each of your pens, but what this does is For the tier 1, it gives you a 5% chance to preserve a bomb when thrown, and then tier 2 gives you a 10% chance. So if you're somebody that uses vuln bombs, this can actually save you a okay amount of money. And if you're not high enough level for the Malitops perk, or you know, because that's like 117 farming, this could be a good option just to have in there. So you're essentially going to save a little bit of money if you're somebody who whips vuln bombs everywhere like me. And it's kind of decent because vuln bombs, let's be honest, are pretty expensive, and I tend to just spam them out, especially at bosses like Solok and places that are longer fights, especially in group PvM. So this can save you a little bit of money if you don't have that Malitops perk yet. Another combo that I want to talk about is a bit more of an expensive combo, but one that I find use a lot of, and that is using an EOF with a Dbow plus Chinchompas. Now the reason this is so good and some practical uses of it, for instance, if I'm somewhere like the Archglacior and I get the minions, I'm often asked how I clear the minions so fast, and how I do that is I have a Dbow, of course, in my EOF, and I put on Chinchompas, and then I end up debowing the pile of minions, and essentially you get those 2 big Dbow hits, but then you also get the Chinchompa effect, which essentially just kills all of the minions at once. So if you're somebody that ranges, this is super good, and it's also very useful at other places, like let's say you're going to Zuck and you're clearing the waves. This is a super useful thing to use there because you can kind of stack up the monsters, use the Dbow spec with the Chinchompas, and very easily clear a bunch of them off. So it's just a really nice thing to have, and Dbow and an EOF if you're ranging is just very, very good anyway, but combining it with the chins gives you an easier way to clear some mobs, whether you're in elite dungeons, whether you're doing something like Zuck, or whether you're dealing with minions as something like an Archglacior or Telos. Next is one if you're ranging that most of you probably have, but I thought I'd mention it just because of how nice of a quality of life it is, and that is using Fleeting Boots along with the Rapid Fire ability. Now we all know Fleeting Boots are boots that essentially make it so you can move around when you're rapid firing, similar to how Nightmare Gauntlets make it so you can move while sniping, but rapid fire is used much more and is, you know, a channeled ability that lasts for quite a while. So being able to run freely while rapid firing is very, very good, and I would not be nearly as good at a place like Raksha if I did not have Fleeting Boots. So most of you probably have these, but if you're somebody that's ranging that hasn't been like, oh, I can just use Perk boots, it's not that big of a deal, getting Fleeting Boots is going to help you out tremendously, especially if you do anything like Raksha or Next where you have to move a lot. These are absolutely clutch there. I also wanted to mention the poison combo, which is using Bic arrows along with a Reaver Familiar, along with Cinderbanes, along with Quorum Incense Sticks, along with Weapon Poison, essentially stacking poison. I wanted to link Wazware's video because he made a great video showcasing the whole combo, much better than I could, but is one that has helped me out tremendously at places like Solok, even Archglacior at high end rages, or Carapac, because the poison damage from this, if you go full in on the full poison build, is just absolutely insane damage. I did make a video on poison stacking like a year ago, but this was before Bic arrows came out and I was using the Wyvern crossbow, and to look back at that and then to look at the damage you get from it now, it's just crazy how like good it's become. And honestly, I was absolutely struggling to do Solok before I started using this combo, mostly because I just didn't feel like I was keeping up with the damage, and this combo just makes it, you know, a lot easier to do, especially using a Reaver Familiar, because you can also heal from that Reaver Familiar using its special tech, which essentially gives you not only this damage, but the Reaver can act almost as a yak, if not give you more food, because you can store so many special attack scrolls. So all around, this is a great combo, and I'll link Wazware's video in the description if you guys want to go check out how to do it for yourself. I also wanted to mention the combo of using a Chandler's Ring plus concentrated blast or greater concentrated blast. Basically, the Chandler's Ring is, of course, gotten by getting Seer's Rings in the heart of the Seer, and its passive is actually the Ruinic Embrace. This gives a 4% stacking critical strike chance per hit when casting magic channeled abilities. So essentially, every channel of an ability, this stack increases. So it's very, very good if you're using things like greater concentrated blast and of course like asphyxiate. So if you don't have the Chandler's Ring and you're maging and you're using dual wield magic, this is going to help you quite a bit, although it's pretty pricey for a ring because Seer's Rings and the Heart of the Seer are all very expensive, but it definitely is very powerful, and I thought I'd mention it here. These are all combos that really helped me out during my time PvMing, whether it be the Archglacior, Raksha, Solok. They all had their places at different places, and of course there's more combos than this. I did mention them all. There's things like using Laceration Boots, Bladed Dive, and a Lanikia Spear with certain perks at Raksha. There's a ton of different combinations, but I thought I mentioned the ones that kind of had the most impact on me throughout my PvM journey. But let me know if there's any other combos you guys think should have been mentioned. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe for more videos, and I'll see you all in the next one.